Welcome to the Heart of Brighton, Brighton Ford's new podcast that highlights and features the people, businesses, and organizations that make Brighton and our surrounding area the great place it is. I'm happy to introduce our host, Kim Adams.
Hi, I'm Kim Adams, and welcome to In the Heart of Brighton, sponsored by Brighton Ford. If you want more information, you can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram, using the hashtag Brighton Ford. The purpose of this podcast is really to highlight the heart of Brighton and what makes this such a special community. And you can't talk about the Brighton community without talking about children and families. And unfortunately, there is a need for some of these families to find shelter and safety. And that's where they turn to LACASA, which is such an amazing place. And I'm so blessed to welcome Bobette Schrandt, who is the president and CEO of LACASA. Welcome to our new podcast. You know, you're only my second guest.
Oh, boy, I feel special.
And the only reason you weren't my first is because it's sponsored by Brighton Ford. So we had to have John Cuter as our first guest.
Yes, totally understand.
But we do appreciate you coming on. Tell us, what is LACASA for those that don't know?
Sure, and thank you, Kim, for having us, and Brighton Ford for having us as well. LACASA is for Livingston County. We are the organization that deals with domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse for the community. And like you said, what makes Brighton so special in Livingston County is the community. We are a homegrown agency. We're a nonprofit agency, and our main office is in Howell. We serve all of Livingston County. And the thing that makes it very special as well is Livingston County, we don't have competition for the services. We are the experts in those areas, so the families know where to come. We're one-stop shopping, basically, for interpersonal violence issues that face our community. So we provide over 34 different programs at LACASA to meet the needs of, again, child abuse, domestic violence, and sexual assault here in our community. And we also do service the surrounding communities, about 5 of the counties we serve, because, again, we might be closer than going to the Haven that is in Pontiac, or closer than going to Eve in Lansing, or same in Genesee County. So we'll service parts of, Milford, South Lyon, northern parts of Washtenaw, also Genesee County and some of Ingham County. Our primary area is Livingston County, and over 80% of our cases are all from Livingston County. And the support that we receive and the support the community provides is remarkable, such as even Brighton Ford. Again, the sponsorships that we receive to support our families and children are amazing. One thing I would want to share, a lot of times people always think of us, Kim, as a shelter. When you mention LACASA, they say shelter for domestic violence. We are so much more than just a shelter. We have a shelter, but again, we have transitional supportive housing, we have counseling, individual and group counseling, we have parenting classes, we have a CASA program. I can go on and on for those 34 different programs, and legal advocacy for anyone that walks through our door. We service over 4,000 people a year through our door at LACASA, and we don't turn anyone away. Our services are free of charge because you never charge a victim for something they're not responsible for happening to them. And you want them to get the help that they need in order to, again, become survivors and thrivers and be participants in our community.
Well, and I would imagine some of those programs may prevent having the situation get to a point where they need a shelter, where they need to leave the home.
Yes, exactly. We also do a lot of public awareness and prevention and education, because we're in all the school districts in Livingston County, elementary, middle school, and high school. Our goal is really to intervene early on and have our community aware of those things. Because, again, the areas that we deal with doesn't know social economic levels. Everyone is susceptible within our community. And the important, we're frequently asked, Kim, I view it as sort of the chicken and the egg question. Are we seeing more domestic violence, child abuse, sexual assault? Or is it that we're doing a much better job of prevention and education? Mm-hmm. People know where to go, what services are provided, and we are there. That's the important piece. Not so much which is it. It's happening, and our numbers indicate it's happening. So the fact that we're there to meet those needs is the critical piece of the services in Livingston.
And there's no shame. There is no shame. I know this firsthand. I understand it firsthand. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, how much money you make, what your house looks like. Women can be in unsafe situations. It happens, and there's nothing to be ashamed of at all.
Exactly. We pride ourselves on being client-focused, empowerment model, non-blaming.
Right.
The victim is not to be blamed. Frequently you might hear, Kim, well, why doesn't she just leave? Well, yes,
yeah.
You may have heard that.
I understand that. Yes, I do. Yeah.
And when that happens, you're putting all the blame and onus on her for violence that's happening. The other thing that people don't realize is that is the most critical and volatile time, is when she says, I am leaving. The thing that you hear in the press or read in the papers, it's when she's made that decision, and that is when the violence. So when you say that, it literally could mean her life.
Right.
That you're talking
and
about.
There's also a gray area. A lot of women in those situations are in a fog where things, when you're outside of that situation, it's black and white. You can see, well, that was abuse. I could see that's abuse. But when you're in the situation, everything becomes gray. And it's confusing because maybe you don't have a black eye. Not everyone who's a battered woman has a black eye.
Exactly.
And
that's very true.
And so it gets very confusing for some women. And I'm so thankful that you have programs to help sort that out and to help those women. It's an amazing organization. One of my concerns, and many people's concerns, is for women who are right now and for the past year and a half trapped in a home with an abuser during COVID, during a pandemic.
Yes.
How has that changed things for women?
It definitely has. When the executive order was issued and it said, stay home, stay safe, that did not mean for the clienteles we work with, staying home was safe. Right. I tell we had one of our staff, I do walkabouts, and I was back in our helpline because we have a 24-hour helpline that's always available. We never closed our doors during COVID. Our doors were open, our counselors were available, legal advocates, our shelter, we worked. I have a call that came in, and our staff was answering the phone, and I had just walked back when she'd hung up, and she said, Bobette, I just got a call. A woman is in her closet in a panic. I can hear the perpetrator coming after her, and she hung up. I don't know if she's safe, if she's okay. I just hope she calls back. That is really what we were dealing with during the COVID time. Many of the women felt they were told, you can't leave. Right. We were told you can't leave your home. Right. So then they stayed, and they stayed in very dangerous kinds of situations. So we have seen our numbers, increase dramatically, about 30%. And so with that, we also are doing a lot more hoteling because we don't turn people away. So if our shelter's full, we will provide shelter for those individuals to make sure that they have a safe place to be. The other is the children that are being exposed to the violence within their home as well. So with COVID, we are still seeing the ramifications of that. And now with the holidays coming, and so we would encourage the community, if you're aware of or you know someone, a friend, a family member, they can call us, they can text. We have a texting ability that may be safer, emailing, but to make sure that whatever form of communication that they choose is a safe one, to reach out to LACASA. We are there to provide assistance.
I want you to talk to a woman who's listening right now, who is in an abusive relationship. Talk to that woman. What do you tell her? What does she do right now?
What we would suggest, there is not one size fits all for every survivor. Number one is safety, and we can assist in preparing what we call a safety plan. So we have women who may not choose to leave a violent situation at the moment, but we can help her develop a safety plan to protect herself and to protect her children. So to reach out when it's safe, to call us, text us, email LACASA, so that we can help her with her circumstances. So what we would do is go through what is happening, what's occurring. Should she feel that she can come to the shelter or would like to come to the shelter, we will make that available for her to access and come to us. We can also meet with her in the community. We could leave if she can go to lunch or dinner or, be able to get out of the home to come meet with us. We would be more than willing to meet with her where it's a safe environment for her to meet with us. And we can help design a safety plan for her and steps for she and her children, if there are children involved. Then we would help her live that plan so that she could seek help. Everyone is at different stages sometimes of a situation or abuse. We may have a woman that says, I have a 2-year plan. When I have enough finances, I'm going to plan to leave. But we can help her have a whole safety plan in those 2 years and still have access to us and to services and availability. So we really individualize it for every person that calls us.
And talk to me about a woman who hears you say that, but is like, okay, but my husband or my boyfriend checks my phone. He looks at my phone. He's always looking at how do we protect her from not knowing that they called you. They look at the phone records. They look at their texting. How does she safely contact you?
That's a very good question, because with social media and all the electronics and so on that's available, what I would encourage our community to do too, one of the things that we see in domestic violence is social isolation. Mm-hmm. They start withdrawing from, or the perpetrator isolates her so that she's withdrawn. If at all possible, I would encourage our community for friends, family members to be able to reach out to the individual. And that individual may be able to give them their phone. Mm-hmm. They could give access. We also have access to the phones that can't be tracked, and that we do give phones out to our clients and actually children even when they are in need of access to be able to reach us safely. That would be a separate phone. But again, the community, family members, friends, to reach out to the individual. They could maybe use their phone, give us a call through their access or their email, and reach out to us to be able to receive services and meet with us.
And can someone do it anonymously? If you have a neighbor or a friend that you highly suspect is being abused, can someone call you without revealing who they are, or their concern is, I know my friend's being abused, but I don't want her to know that I'm calling?
Yes, that person can call us. We will probably work through with them a plan in order to be able to reach that individual so that she can, because again, it will be up to her to reach out to us as the client. Now, in the case of child abuse, no. Any allegations of child abuse can be reported, any suspicions. And during COVID, we really encouraged our community to do that because children were not attending school. So mandatory reporters were not putting eyes on children. And so, again, we saw our child abuse rates really escalate once COVID started lifting as well. So in that case, they can call us, and they can be anonymous, and they can share that they feel a child is being abused or is at risk, and that can be investigated. We don't do the investigation, but we can make all the contacts and the connections to have that happen. The neighbor could call us. We work also, Kim, with all the friends and family of all of our victims. We're willing to support them as well, and they can come in too. So we'll have parents or friends say, I don't know how to help my friend. I want to be there to support her. Well, we work with them so that they can learn and be helpful and support their friend going through this very difficult and horrendous period in her life. So we work with friends and family as well. So we would encourage them to call us. We would help them walk through a plan to be able to have that victim be able to reach out to us and to call. And maybe it's that they come with her and join if possible. So we would work through that with them.
Okay. So let's get to all the different ways that a woman can contact you. Or a man. We focus on women, but there are men who may be listening right now too that also need your help as well. Do you help men as well?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, good.
Yes, we have men that are in our shelter. We have men that come in with their children in our shelter. So It does tend to be a more gender-specific issue, domestic violence. However, it does not preclude at all men seeking our services. And when it comes to sexual abuse, it could be a case that happened years and years ago, but they're in need of counseling now. So men. And then when it's child abuse, it's about 50-50. So we have, boys and girls that are suffering from child abuse as well. So yes, we service both. And we also do the LGBTQ community and within our shelter. We're able to provide counseling and services for everyone.
For a woman that's listening or a man that's listening right now, I want to go over all the phone numbers and the ways that they can contact you. We'll have all the information on the website as well, but I want to make sure we say it here as well.
Sure. Okay. Our helpline is 866-522-2725. We also have a texting capability, which is a different phone number, which is 517-777-8005. And then we have our main line. And I do want, if they happen to call our main number after hours of the weekend, it will transfer back to the helpline. So that line is always answered. Just let it ring and it will transfer. And our main number is 517-548-1350.
And for those listening that are not familiar with LACASA, it's LACASA. So if you want to Google it and look it up, it's Livingston County LACASA.
Correct.
And say your website again one more time.
www.lacasacenter.org.
I love the texting because of the anonymity that comes with it, and also because I think of younger women, teenage girls in particular, or young women in their early 20s who might be more comfortable texting. I don't know the last time I talked to my daughter on the phone.
Right, exactly.
Everything is by text.
Exactly.
And why would this situation be any different? They're just more comfortable. It's the way they're used to communicating, especially communicating their feelings and what's going on. So I love that you have the ability to accept texts now.
Thank you. And that's one of the hugest considerations when we went to texting. We want to make sure we're reaching everyone and that people can reach us. Mm-hmm. And we knew we have a very active teen advisory council that works with our organization, and they give us and provide us feedback that's invaluable to our organization. And one of those is, again, when we looked at our helpline used to be called Crisis Line. They gave us feedback because we noticed that young people weren't calling our helpline. And they said, maybe it's the name, because we don't maybe think because my boyfriend shoved me into a locker that that's abuse, or I need a crisis call, but I might want to talk to somebody and get help. And so we thought, whoa, maybe that name, we should look at it. And then we realized, going back to one of the questions that you had asked him, we realize that many women day to day live with abuse, and it's not, be it slapping or verbal abuse, and it's not a crisis maybe sometimes to them until a weapon is pulled or their life is threatened. So then I realized, well, maybe we're not reaching some of our other women to know that or men, that they can call us and call a helpline. So we changed the name to Helpline. And I have to tell you, Kim, our teens went up by 58%.
Wow.
So that was remarkable.
So that explains it.
Yes.
Well, have you heard about the frog in a pot? Do you know this story?
No. What?
If you take a frog and you toss it into a pot of boiling water, instantly the frog will hop right back out. Uh-huh. I mean, it knows to save itself. The water is boiling hot. If you put a live frog, in a pot of tepid water, cold water, and you just slowly turn up the heat, and it keeps rising, it keeps getting hotter and hotter. By the time the frog realizes that the water is too hot and it's about to boil, it can't jump out. It can no longer save itself.
What a wonderful analogy that fits with what we're talking about, Kim.
And that's what happens in a lot of these situations is you are in a violent situation. It's just the heat is being turned up so slowly that you don't realize it's killing you.
Yes, exactly.
We know when it's a crisis. We know, we got to get out. Right. Jump right out. But when it's slowly being turned up and it's over a long period of time, you get to a point where you're paralyzed and you can't move now, and now you can't get out.
Exactly. Thank you, because I think that is a wonderful. I'm going to use that if that's all right with you.
Go, absolutely.
I think it's
the frog in a
wonderful to
pot.
fit.
And it's wonderful that there are places like LACASA to help people. And when we talk about the heart of Brighton, children and families are the heart of Brighton, and you help so many children and families. So thank you on behalf of me, on behalf of Brighton Ford and the entire Livingston County community. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much.
You do
I
so much.
appreciate it. And if I could also ask the community, Livingston, it's a holiday time coming up, as we know. It tends to be a joyous time for many people, but for those we serve, they struggle to make it and to have it be special. So we have a few things, and I know Brighton Ford is a very strong supporter of this too. We have Adopt a Family going on right now for the holidays.
Oh, okay.
And so the community can reach out to us at that main number and do an Adopt a Family. All families that work through LACASA are available to be able to participate in Adopt a Family. So the more people we have, the more we can share with families. We also have a wonderful thing. We have our, I don't know if you're aware, Kim, we have a resale store, LACASA Collection. It's over on M59 and D19 in Howell by the Kroger.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it is a phenomenal store, and the store is for our clients. It was so our families could shop with dignity and respect. Instead of handouts, we're able to have them participate. We had a client come in, and our staff they get to shop like you and I.
Right.
And the things that we get at our store, Kim, are unbelievable. It's a very high-end resale shop. And she came in, and the staff helped her do a complete wardrobe. She got a suit, a blouse, scarf, shoes, handbag, belt, everything. And she went up and she says, I have a job interview tomorrow. And look at what I have to go on my interview. And she was crying. And of course, I had to know she did get the job.
She did. That's what I was just going to ask. And she got the job.
Yes. And so that store is going to host here during the holidays. We've done it the last couple of years. It's called Starry Nights.
Okay.
And so you bring in a brand new unwrapped toy and donate it, and you get a discount, and you get to shop at LACASA Collection. So if the community, again, would like to share in helping our children, because, again, we serve over 300-400 children a year, so we're trying to make a Christmas special for them as well. So we have Starry Nights happening during the holidays.
Okay, so can anyone shop at LACASA Collection?
Yes, anyone.
Okay.
It's open to the community.
And can anyone donate? You can donate.
Definitely. It's supported by the community. And again, all the profits come right back to LACASA. So it goes right back into services and the delivery to services. And so all of our clients can shop there for free. So it is for them. And they get to come, and a little 7-year-old girl came in, and I was there that day, and she's walked in and she went, "Wow, Mom, this is for us." And it was like, "Yes, it is, sweetie. Get to go shop." And she came back up to the register, and Kim, and she held up a pair of brand new pajamas with tags on it, with a kitty cat and puppy dog. You would have thought that was just the biggest thing ever. She was so thrilled. And you know what? It struck me at that moment is that what a difference it is. Thinking back to your own children shopping and getting to pick out things. She got to pick them out. Had we hand delivered those to her and said, "Here are your pajamas," a whole different meaning than her picking it out. So,
and the fact that they're new,
brand new,
because a lot of people will go through their closet and they give whatever they don't want anymore, which is fine, and I'm sure you accept that. However, to a woman, or especially to a child, why are they worth any less than what we would buy for our own kids?
Exactly. That's what we pride our store on.
Exactly.
It's very
They should have
high-end.
exactly what my kids have. They shouldn't have my kids' leftovers, even though I know they'd be grateful for it. I always try to, because you can get things like that at discount stores, and they're new. They still have the tags on them. Or your kid might have clothes in the closet they never got to wear that still have the tags on them, which doesn't mean anything to you and your kids because you're used to that. But to these kids, they've never had anything that still had a tag on it.
Yes.
And so there's a value, there's a self-esteem to that. There's a self-worth that says, you mean I'm worth something new, not something that someone else just didn't want?
Exactly. So we pride ourselves on everything that's on the floor. And so many of the items have tags, like I said, that are brand new, and adults too. Adult clothing, shoes that have never been worn, jewelry. It's an amazing store. So I would encourage people because, again, everything that you spend there. We also have an online store. So you could go to the LACASA Collection online store, which has even higher end items as well. But we pride ourselves for exactly that. We don't put anything out with stains or buttons missing or zippers or broken. Everything.
Right, and I don't want to say there's anything wrong with used clothing. There's not. I mean, that's completely fine, and some of them are barely ever worn. But I like that you take pride in, making sure that there's no stains, there's no rips. It looks like a new piece of clothing. It's nice clothing.
And Livingston County's been wonderful in supporting that for us. And we do have people say they learn about us and say, we're bringing our things to you. Because, again, a lot of people, it's their treasures too, right? And they want to share their treasures. We work hard
for them, sure.
So we pride ourselves on that store and would encourage people because, again, it benefits our clients tremendously. We take field trips and bring the residents from the shelter to go shopping, and it means a lot to them because it's shopping with dignity and respect, and that has a wonderful, powerful meaning to those individuals. Like you said, they get to pick it out, and they're no different than the rest of us. So,
well, I can tell you, I'm going to be there soon because I have a lot that I would love to donate and to shop and really support you in any way that I can, because I really do appreciate everything you do, especially with the holidays coming up.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank the community for all the support you give to LACASA because, again, Kim, we can't do it without our community. We can't do it without people like Brighton Ford, who sponsors us and supports us. And, they did a really special event. I don't know if you heard of this. The Denim and Diamonds is one of our...
Yes, very special event. I'm going to be there next year. You're going to type me in there because I need to be there.
Would you like to be our MC?
I absolutely would. Well, you tell me the date and it's going to go in my calendar.
We're marking that down.
Okay.
I think we do have the date. It's September 17th.
Of next year.
Yes. 22? Yes.
I'm there. I'm writing it down. You've got me.
September 17th. But what Brighton Ford did because during COVID, we didn't have events inside. So this Denim and Diamonds was an outdoor event. They gave us pickup trucks, 150s, and we had a concert for Denim and Diamonds, and we were able to put bales of hay in the back ends of the pickup trucks in the beds, and we had quilts, and we lined them all up, and so that people could be in the
That's got Lauren Kaufman's name written all over it. That is a Lauren thing. Lauren, for those of you that don't know, she's the marketing director over at Brighton Ford, and she's absolutely incredible. So that doesn't surprise me. Well, I am getting my diamonds and denim together as we speak, and I'll see you September 17th. But I'll see you before then because I want to help you out during the holiday season.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bobette. We'll have all of this information on our website, brightonford.com. Also use the hashtag BrightonFord. You can visit us on all of our social media channels, and we'll make sure that you get in touch with LACASA. Thank you again for joining us.